hello, and welcome. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. This is Breakfast Daily here on Channel 1 Television. I've got my coffee. I hope you have yours. Grab whatever it is that you feast on in the morning. It could be your cocoa. It could be your, Tom Brown, your wheat, your cereals. But if you're like my brother Paco, find some wachi. You understand, and feast on it this morning. But make sure you are sitting behind your television while you're enjoying that watching. Welcome to Breakfast Daily. I am Nanatufo Boateng. It's an absolute pleasure to bring you the best breakfast on television. The show promises to be very, very exciting today. We have a lot of interesting stuff for you, so please do your best to stay with us from now up until 11 a.m. But it remains interactive, and so we entreat you to join us with your thoughts, your comments, and your contributions. Let us know what you think about the various topics and subjects that we'll be discussing on the show. You can do so via the WhatsApp number on your screens, and you can join us on our socials. We're streaming live on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're very interactive on X, very engaging on Instagram, and you can also enjoy some exclusive video content from Channel 1 Television. Now, the Greater Accra Regional Coordinating Council, together with the National Disaster Management Organization and the National Security, have embarked on a demolition exercise somewhere along the Bush Road. Okay, that's where the Peshi Lagoon is. Now, this lagoon serves to collect runoff water so that when it rains, it doesn't flood. Okay, however, some people feel that, well, they need a place to stay, a place to work. In fact, most of these structures serve as commercial structures, are there for commercial purposes. But the challenge is that if you are allowed to stay there, all right, what will happen is that you're blocking the waterway, and so whenever it rains, it's going to cause flooding. Now, I don't know how many times we are going to say this or repeat the same thing. We will sound like a broken record, but I mean, people just need to be disciplined and responsible in this town. You get it? It's a very huge challenge that several thousands, millions of cedis will be committed to desilting drains, to dredging drains, and people want to construct or if like raise structures along waterways. It beats my imagination. Now, the challenge I have with our local authorities is the fact that these structures don't spring up in their numbers. Okay, it begins with one structure, and whoever starts it will find job in Accra and go and bring a cousin or a kid brother or kid sister from the village or from wherever to come and stay there. This person will also begin to make acquaintances and will have to erect their own structure. So it moves from 1 to 100 real quick, and the authorities will look on without taking action. You will look on, the thing will grow, the place will become populated, it grows into a slum community, and then now you're looking for political currency in it. So I am excited that the Greater Accra Regional Minister is leading this charge. At least we're seeing some political will, some political commitment, okay, to rid the city of illegal habitation. If we continue to allow structures to spring up haphazardly, like I've always said, we are developing without planning. There's no plan to the development that we are seeing, and so structures spring up anywhere, anyhow, anytime, and nothing is done about it. So, not that anyone is being wicked, not that anyone is punishing anyone, but the right thing must be done to serve the general good of the Ghanaian populace. And that's why we're commending the authorities for taking this action to demolish these structures along the Peshi Lagoon. That's the Bush Road. I think that's Lada Dekotopon, Ladma. Yeah, Lada Dekotopon. It's important that the exercise is not limited to just this area. We don't want to see selective justice. Spread it along all the, because where the water collects, okay, all the Ramsar areas where structures are coming up, so that we can help prevent flooding whenever it rains. We do not want to see that phenomenon again. We've actually even given it a name. Can you imagine? Perennial flooding. What is that? As for me, when I come across human-inflicted, human-induced challenges, it beats my imagination. Okay, so perhaps we need to see more of such. Let's rid the city of all these illegal habitations. And when you are done, come into the city center, the business district, where we have containerized every single area. We have cleared all the greens and concretized the city, and where we have concretized, we are now containerizing. So we've put containers everywhere. Fire hydrants, container. Drains, container. Alleys, container. So even if there's a fire, the tender cannot have access to where the fire is to even go and fight the fire. We're doing this to ourselves as a people, and we need to stop it. And the buck stops with the authorities. So the local authorities, this year, we and you be that. We'll be on you. You understand? But it's with good intent, okay? No malice aforethought. It's with good intent. Let's work together to make this country, a more comfortable place, more habitable, and then avoid all these preventable deaths due to flooding, loss of property. I mean, we can do better as a people. But kudos to the authorities for embarking on this demolition exercise. Let's extend it to other areas, and let's ensure that nature, which has found wisdom in securing water at a particular place to collect runoff water, will take its course and not spill off into our homes, into our communities to cause chaos. Peace and shalom. All right. Yesterday, a major announcement was made. Yeah. We unveiled sponsors for the Heritage Caravan 2026. You understand? So Ghana's biggest premier heritage and cultural tour received a major boost yesterday with the announcement of the sponsors. And boy, it's wonderful stuff. So this year's caravan promises to be amazing. Okay, it's going to be fun, and the sponsors have indicated that they are coming, and they are coming big. And so I'm just going to say thank you to our sponsors this morning. All right, we have Hollard Insurance. Hollard Insurance, amazing stuff. Thank you so much to Hollard Insurance. Nanesh Rice is also coming on board. Thank you so much to Nanesh Rice. And then Omni Basic Bank is also there. Thank you. We have Piva Beverages also sponsoring this year. I want to say thank you to Piva Beverages. And then we have Didi Shito. This one is from GB Foods. Didi Shito from GB Foods. I want to say thank you to Didi Shito as well. Then we have Gino also from GB Foods. Thank you so much to Gino. And we want to say thank you to our timekeepers, official timekeepers for the Heritage Caravan 2026, and that's Caveman Watches. This will be their first time. So I'll just do a brief description of the sponsors and how long they've been with us, okay? So Hollard Insurance, a leading insurance company, is marking its 6th consecutive year of partnership. So for 6 years in a row, Hollard Insurance has partnered the Heritage Caravan, and we're super grateful to them. Omni Basic is marking its 3rd successive year. Omni Basic Bank. This is the 3rd year in a row that they are partnering the Heritage Caravan. I want to say thank you to Omni Basic. Piva Beverages is doing its 2nd year. Yeah, Piva Beverages is doing its 2nd year of sponsorship. So appreciation and gratitude to Piva Beverages. GB Foods is also sponsoring. GB Foods has been with us, and this year they are sponsoring with their Didi Shito and of course some Gino products. I want to say thank you to Didi Shito and Gino, all from GB Foods. We are grateful to you guys. And making their debut this year, the first time of partnering and sponsoring the Heritage Caravan. Yes, we have Nanesh Rice and we have Caveman Watches. Caveman Watches will be the official timekeepers, and so this time around Caveman will be the timekeepers, and so my boss Frima will not have to be shouting let's go plenty. Yeah, but don't know one sorry. But thank you to all our partners, thank you to all our sponsors. We're super grateful to you, and we look forward to an exciting and thrilling journey across 14 regions of this beautiful country in just 8 days. We take off from the 1st of March to the 8th of March, and then of course we get to celebrate, we get to experience this beautiful country called Ghana. But thank you so much. to all our sponsors. We are grateful, super grateful to you. Look out for the Heritage Caravan 2026. It promises to be a journey of a lifetime. Thank you so much. But let's jump onto the Google Play Store now, where you can download the Channel One News app. That's where you get all your accurate, factual, relevant, timely news. You shouldn't have any challenges at all, because go onto the Google Play Store, type in Channel One News, and then you find it there, right there. Install on your device and have access to the news. The interface is quite simple to navigate. It's user-friendly, no challenges at all, no wahala at all. Okay, so download the Channel One News app from the Google Play Store, and voila, that is it. Now, while you're at it, you should know that this one is a Ghanaian app. You see, we are building and promoting Ghanaian businesses, so we are asking you to eat Ghanaian food. You understand? I hear some gentleman is in this country, he's doing backflips into made in Ghana jollof. That jollof, we use Ghana rice to make it, so we're asking you to do same. Okay, some I show speed, or I don't even know how they call him, but yeah, he's in town. And yesterday I saw him doing backflips into Ghana jollof. The jollof that we are looking for to eat, the guy is sleeping in the jollof. I don't know whether it's a jollof pool or I don't know. But yes, look for some made in Ghana rice. Okay, eat Ghana, build Ghana. Eat Ghana, build Ghana. All right, the path to build Ghana is right on your plate. It's your choice, your country, your meal. Eat Ghana and build Ghana. All right, so support Ghana with your fork and spoon. Your meal can make Ghana stronger. Support Ghana with your fork and spoon, and we say that your meal can make Ghana stronger. All right, so join this campaign, which is brought to you by 97.3 City FM and Channel One Television, in partnership with Agri Impact Limited, the MasterCard Foundation, and the 24-hour Economy and Accelerated Export Development Authority, or if like Secretariat. Yeah, so I want to say thank you to Agri Impact Limited, thank you to the MasterCard Foundation, thank you to the 24-hour Economy and Accelerated Export Development. Thank you so much for being part of the Eat Ghana, Build Ghana initiative. Now the call is for all of you and all of us to commit to eating what we grow and growing what we eat, investing in our local economy, investing to ensure that a farmer out there survives. Every single grain of local rice that you consume is the sweat and toil of a Ghanaian farmer, so we should make it worth their while. All right, let's not sit and allow the rice go waste while we continue to spend billions and millions of dollars to import rice. Let's eat Ghana and build Ghana. All right, let's get into the newspapers now. I'll take you to the Daily Graphic. Front page says 211,849 delegates to elect NPP flag bearer. Party promises free, fair polls. And it comes with a picture of Joseph Osei-Wusu, affectionately called Joe Rice, who is the chairperson of the Presidential Election Committee of the NPP. Metro Mass spare parts stuck at port for 2 years. These are the things that when I see, then I'm going crazy. The Metro Mass that you are telling us that they are not good, they are scrap, for which reason you are selling them for 2,500 cedis. A whole bus, 2,500 cedis for scrap. The spare parts for this same bus have been sitting at the Tema port for 2 years. And you see, it's not the if you like the dereliction or the ignorance, or if you like the abandonment of these things. It's the lack of accountability. The fact that no one will be punished or held accountable for this, and so the certainty of punishment serving as a deterrent will be missing. And we'll go and sleep, and another cycle. Next time we'll hear that actual buses are sitting somewhere for 10 years and no one cares. Because we've seen some before. Vehicles have been imported into this country and abandoned. State money has gone waste. How can you tell me the story that Metro Mass spare parts have been stuck at the port for 2 years and no one has been held accountable? Somebody is walking freely, enjoying life. Meanwhile, me and my brothers are stuck at the bus stop looking for transport to go to work. A journey that should take us about 30 minutes is now taking us 2 hours, 2.5 hours, because there are no buses. There's a shortage of buses in the system. And yet spare parts that will be used to fix and maintain Metro Mass buses for you and I to ride to and from work are sitting at the ports for 2 years, and yet nobody sees anything wrong with this. People think it's business as usual because this is Ghana. It's not for my father, it's not for me, it's for Abain, so we should leave it like that. It will catch up with all of us. We will all pay one day, and posterity will be there to judge all of us. Let's look at another worrying story. Well, we discussed this yesterday. Road crashes killed 2,949 last year, highest in 35 years. 63,599 die since 1991. This according to the Road Safety Authority. Now, if this does not scare you, then I don't know if you are Terminator or you are Kelalomi or you are who. 2,949 human beings, most of them in their productive ages, died just last year, in 1 year, as a result of road crashes. But je m'en fous. It's business as usual. No one cares. So we'll come and read the statistics again next year, and then we'll move on. No one cares. First Sky Group commissions phase 1 of Yendi solar plant in March. First Sky Group commissions phase 1 Yendi solar plant in March. If you go on the back page, Kolebu receives medical equipment from Newmont, and then you have steel industry assures government of stable supply and prices. So these are some of the stories that made it to the Daily Graphic newspaper. There are more within, so go grab a copy. I'll bring you the front page of the Ghanaian Times. Tama motorway expansion 35% complete. Contractor implements measures to minimize inconvenience. I know what I want to say but cannot say, so it's okay. Tamamoto expansion 35% complete. Contractor implements measures to minimize inconvenience. Oh, thank you to the contractor. GAF, that's the Ghana Armed Forces, rejects 60% HIV claim in recruitment medical screening. Ghana exports 120 health workers to Antigua. Okay. Will scrutinize government business to entrench constitutional democracy. This is the minority. I hope you watched that press conference yesterday. Make your own deductions from it. WHO expresses regret over US withdrawal from global health body. We know that Trump has done his thing. US has withdrawn from the WHO. When you go on the back page, Nanton District Assembly hands over 450 school decks to GES, and then you have 3 million communities get 412,000 mechanized 412,000 Ghana cedis mechanized boreholes. So 3 communities in Mion in the northern region get 412,000 Ghana cedis mechanized boreholes. All right, so that's the Ghanaian Times newspaper. Daily Guide says NDC flag bearer contest. Nana Jane picks Haruna. Oh, that's according to Afenyo. NDC flag bearer contest. Nana Jane picks Haruna. Interesting times ahead. NPP NDC EC sued over electoral systems. Fix failures in oil palm sector. That's Kwabna Ameni speaking. Daddy Lumba estate case. Kumasi High Court strikes out application. Abu Trika discharged but rearrested. So that's the Daily Guide newspaper. Let's get into the Chronicle. The Chronicle says NDC used anti-gay bill to win power, but they are now running away from it. That's according to Osahene Alexander Afenyo Markin, the minority leader. IGP Yohunu, the turnaround tiger. Okay. Confidence in economy restored as government raises 12.78 billion cedis at T-bill auction. Akachi North MP supports tertiary students with fees. That's the Chronicle. You have sports stories on the back. Let's bring you the scripture for today. Proverbs 20 verse 25. It is a snare to say rashly it is holy and to reflect only after making vows. May the Lord bless the reading of his word. Let's go to the New Republic. First fly at Peace Pact. Viper Baumia and Ken Bulldog in near brawls shocker. Hey, some of the headlines too. Print is dying. Ofusikwachi warns media, urges migration and promises government bailout. Okay. Rules change for Ghana card. Exemption for under 25 years, 30 cedis for first timers. TikTok streamer takes Accra by storm. Minority unpacks Mahama's economic turnaround. Lingua war looms over Google AI gig. So that's the New Republic. Let's go into the Daybreak. Daybreak says Mahama applauds First Sky Group's faith-driven philanthropy. Tale sacked from national security. That's Colonel Robert Tale sacked from national security. Gold Board worsening Galamsey activities. Minority alleges. BOG seeks economic reset and partnership with Primpag. And Abi's boy wraps shoulders with Edward Bauer. So that's the Daybreak. Wrap it off with the Insight. First Sky Group to provide free kidney transplants after years of dialysis support. President Mahama hails company's milestone. BOG governor calls on the media to support economic reset with accurate, responsible reporting. Ghana Law Society vows to respect outcome of lawsuit challenging its accreditation by the General Legal Council. Dangme Groups petition Google over exclusion of Ga and Dangbe from AI language development. Primpag president salutes media partnership with BOG. Late Ga Manye Na Dede Omadro II to be formally laid to rest. This is according to her family. And then you have Pastor John Apak, father of Deputy Education Minister, to be buried on January 31. Let me take you online now and bring you some stories from our web portals. Channel1newsonline.com. Kennedy Japan has solutions for Ghana's jobless youth. That's according to Kweku Kwating. Abu Jinapo is here. He says NPP primary must produce a broadly acceptable leader. So both of them sat with Bernard Avle on the point of view last night. Majority says NPP left Ghana in crisis. We are fixing it. So this is in response to the minorities presser. Salam Mustafa, National Youth Organizer of the NPP, says suit challenging delegate system dead on arrival. He was speaking on the Channel 1 newsroom last night. NPP picks Baba Ali for Ayawasu East by election. Asim Breku farmer rescues injured black kite from Belgium. Okay. When you go to Kumasi, 16 drivers arrested. Vehicles impounded over illegal fares. Data Protection Commission to introduce rules against AI misinformation. Eastern Regional Chiefs urge stronger fight against youth vices and Galamsey. Ghana Law Society, not an NDC group. That's according to Roxanne Nelson Dafia Makbo. Okay, let's go to citynewsroom.com. Citynewsroom.com. One dead, several injured in violent youth clash at Winneba. One dead, several injured in violent youth clash at Winneba. Another fire hits Kumasi as blaze engulfs Anguna Market. Okay. Oh, that's Anguna Market. Anguna Market. Another fire hits Kumasi as blaze engulfs Anguna Market. Finance Ministry warns against sabotage of AI-driven customs system. Ghana US deepen maritime cooperation after Philadelphia port talks. Kennedy Japan has urgency to fix Ghana's problems. That's according to Kweku Kwating. Baumia is NPP's strongest choice for 2028. That's according to Abu Jinapo. NPP race will need each other post January 31. That's according to Salam Mustafa. Ignore failed NPP minority. NDC majority tells Ghanaians. So go online, citynewsroom.com, as well as channel1newsonline.com, and you get details of these stories and several others. But stay with us here. This is Breakfast Daily on Channel 1 Television. We return with the news review segment. gearing up for the trip of a lifetime. Heritage Caravan 2026 from 1st to 8th March 2026, 8 days, 14 regions, one legendary caravan. We're touring Ghana in the most spectacular way on the Heritage Caravan, exploring the beauty, history, and stories that make our nation unique. Rolling out from Greater Accra through Eastern and OT, up north to the Northern and Upper East, and all the way to the Western region, hitting iconic destinations across Ghana. The Heritage Caravan 2026 will be fun, educative, refreshing, and most of all, remarkable. Stay connected. Follow Channel 1 TV and 97.3 City FM across all social media platforms for updates, and join the conversation using the hashtag Heritage Caravan 2026. The Heritage Caravan 2026 is powered by Channel 1 TV with support from City FM, and it's proudly sponsored by Hollard Insurance, Piva Beverages, Omni Basic Bank, Caveman Watches, Gino, and Didi Shito, and it's supported by Nanes Rice. Heritage Caravan 2026, experience Ghana like never before.
In a nation full of questions, where truth often hides behind noise, one show dares to ask what truly matters face to face. With fearless clarity and quest for accountability, host Marusanda Amadou sits down with the movers and shakers of politics, governance, society, and business, confronting the issues that define our national conversation.
Yes, I am Marusanda Amadou. This is Face to Face, and you're welcome. I say very often on the floor of Parliament that when we were in government, we got some things right, we got some things wrong. Are you still planning to go to Parliament, or you want to look at National Party office position?
No, I'll be going back to Parliament. There's an unfinished business which I need to do.
Sports has 3 legs: development, management, and promotion.
Disintegration is extreme. We do not wish that even on your worst enemy.
Every Tuesday at 9 p.m., join Marusanda Amadou on Face to Face as he digs deeper, challenges power, and reveals the stories shaping Ghana's future. Only on Channel 1 TV.
In a world that praises constant movement, taking a pause feels like failure. Here on Lifeline, we ask, is rest really laziness? Stay with Bishop Fred Kranchi-Mensah to discover why rest is necessary for clarity, strength, and purpose, even as we begin the new year.
Hello, my dear friend, and welcome to Lifeline. I am Fred Kranchi-Mensah. This is the place where we help you to live this life well so that you can enhance your faith, your family, and your future. Come unto me, all you that are heavy laden and have weight, and I will give you rest. In the 20th century and after, we only equate productivity and worth to how hard you can work, how fast you can work. We don't even look at smart work. If you're not busy, you are not productive. Remember the Sabbath and keep it holy. The concept of the Sabbath is a concept of rest.
Lifeline airs every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 p.m. only on Channel 1 TV.
See, the way I'm suffering here. Finally, God has listened to my prayers. Let me tell you something. This interview I come to do, if you not get me, man, are you already there? Are the vipers? Are you back? I want a nice looking lady. Nice one like
Get ready for all the shenanigans, the gossip, the gisting, and the jiving. The typical happenings at a Ghanaian pub, aka Sport.
and everything was sauce. Charlie, this one no sauce fishing. So I see the English between. That just mad at the being the truth. Some things will happen for the content back there. No, get around. I'm here with these guys trying to prepare a surprise proposal party for you. And you are here chilling with this guy.
Don't miss this fun and engaging TV series, Junction 5, on Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. only on Channel 1 TV.
Grateful that you stayed on with us. This is Breakfast Daily here on Channel 1 Television. We're quickly going to touch on the issue I raised earlier regarding the demolition of some structures at and around the Kwishi Lagoon here in Accra. Engineer Mahama is joining us. He's a roads and building consultant. He's joining us via telephone to speak to this particular matter. Engineer, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Good morning.
Right, it is good to have you. Now, this level of encroachments that we are seeing in and around the city, especially around water bodies, Ramsar sites, how much of a challenge or a danger does it pose to us as a people?
Well, let me say good morning to your cherished viewers and Happy New Year to yourself. It's a big challenge. It's a big challenge. And first of all, I have to say a thumbs up to the minister, for the Greater Accra Regional Minister and her team, the NADMO regional directors and the team, what they are doing, the enormous job that they are doing. Before I touch on it, it is like we always try to do the very terrible works in the years, and then we give a very difficult work for the regional ministers to come and salvage the situation, because the assemblies have the wherewithal to deal with the issue once it starts creeping up in their localities. But we sit down and allow it to fester into a certain level where it will need a lot of financial capital to come in and evict those people from there and do the demolition. The Kwishi Lagoon you spoke about, and the one that is behind the trade fair. In fact, I grew up in Bemakam, so we used to go to the trade fair, to the beach all the time. It's already gone. And I've been lamenting on this for the past like 10 years. In fact, they started gradually reducing the capacity of the river. Right. Now, what we are forgetting is that the ozone layer or the global warming is very, very eminent. You can see that even in December and January, we are witnessing or receiving rainfall which is unprecedented.
Yeah.
And we are expecting that nature will be accommodative. Nature wouldn't. So we are expecting to do the bad thing and expect that maybe nature will now reinvent itself to compensate what we are doing. I don't know the penchant with which Ghanaians always go in and fill every lake, every stream, every pond that is. It looks like we're so distasteful to us. We don't want to see any lake. But the ecology, the benefit of the rivers, the lakes, the pond, is that whenever we're having a lot of this volume of water, they accommodate them and then they fill it gradually to the surrounding dry lands.
Right.
But the more we consume these lakes with filling of boulders and laterites, the more we expose ourselves to huge floods that are going to inundate the country. So on this call, I want to applaud the minister, and personally, I have no qualms about whatever is being done with the demolition along any lake, stream, or pond. You rightly put it that we shouldn't be selective in whatever we'll be doing. So I would wish that the regional minister, who listens to you often, because the last time we spoke about what is happening in Tema, I'm told she called your studio to get some information. Now let me just list about 3 of the major ones. Because it's early morning, so people who are listening will just take note. The biggest receptor that the creator created on his own after creating the mountains around the Abu, Mensa, the Brekuso area, all those waters which are supposed to run towards southwards goes through the Abokubi, Presby, around the assembly, the local assembly, and it comes through the Abokubi police station. In fact, that is the boundary between the Madina Lankwantanai and then the east. I am being told by people that have asked them to do some investigation for me within those areas that even the local assembly is beginning to have some water inundating their compound when it rains.
Right.
That is the East. So I will deal with the minister, Greater Caravan. In fact, on the 7th of June last year, I was on agenda, and then I spoke to the fact that they are filling the biggest lake or the river as I was on set.
Wow.
And if you get to Abokubi now, which is about 1.2 kilometers from the assembly and then 1 kilometer from the Abokubi police station, that's the biggest receptor among the 18 buffers that we have that would not have flooded Accra. Now the whole stretch of the lake and river had been taken over by, I don't call them developers, because this cannot be developers. These are very criminals who are filling a lake to put up buildings on it. They are not developers. A developer wouldn't do that. A proper developer in this sense wouldn't do that. And the assembly has also watched on, and the police are just a neighbor, and then the boundary that separates the East and Lamadina and Kwantana has been filled. So that is one of the major. So you see, if you are doing the Gary project, where we are trying to expand all the drains in Accra so that they become wider to accommodate the volume of water, and at the same time you are reducing or totally eliminating the biggest buffer.
Right.
What have you done? If you are spending $240 million plus to do a Gary project, obviously the other ones would have compensated the drains we are doing. So it's only proper that we give this information to yourself, your viewers, your listeners, and I'm sure that it will get to the minister. Mr. Minister or Madam Minister, please, the wager had not been completed like you started. The Bachona had not been completed like you started. The sewer at Committee 25, where the biggest sewage collector for the whole of the communities in Nkrumah's time had now been taken over by, let me put it for want of a better word, a developer who is filling the whole sewer, the receptor, breaking the channels that are bringing the sewage to the location, blocking them and putting concrete to reclaim the land and use for development.
Right.
This is so absurd to the limit. And then when this is done, the Abokubi one, the Madina Lankwantana one, the Tema Community 5 one, the Wager one, then the what they call the Sakumono one. These are the few big ones that when it is really prevented from being developed, we would have a lot of the water receding to these areas. There are other pockets ones within the community that we'll be talking about as time goes on.
Very well. Engineer, thank you so much for your time this morning, and I'm hopeful that the authorities have heard and some action will be taken, as we have seen regarding the one on the Peshi Lagoon. But thank you so much. Engineer Abdullahi Mahama is a road and building consultant, and he just spoke to us regarding encroachment on some of our water bodies, especially within the capital, Accra. All right, this is the news review segment here on Breakfast Daily. It's time to get into our conversations this morning. We'd like to entreat you to join us because the show is interactive. Send us your thoughts, your comments, and contributions. Do so via the WhatsApp number on your screens. You can join us on our socials, streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube. Tweet at us on X and, of course, drop a comment on Instagram. Let me say good morning to the gentleman in studio, Dr. Dixon Adumaku Kisi, Honorable. As a former member of parliament for Anya Sotum, and he's joined by Larry Dogbe. He's the managing editor of the Herald newspaper. Gentlemen, good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Right, we have a number of things to unpack this morning. We start from the camp of the New Patriotic Party. 3 stalwarts have sued the MPP, the NDC, and the Electoral Commission over the delegate-based system. I think they believe that the entire constituency of a party should be allowed to elect a flag bearer and not just a core group, what we call delegates, be given that opportunity. I don't know if the system works. I don't know if it's the practice anywhere else. But Doc, let me start from you. Your thoughts on this particular suit? I mean, the plaintiffs in here are Kwabna Frimpong Boateng, Doctor, Nyaho Tamaklo, Doctor, and Christine, the surname is not coming. Nyama. Amakunyama. Christina Amakunyama are the plaintiffs in this case. Doc, your quick thoughts on this.
First of all, let me greet our listeners and viewers from across the world. And let me also take this opportunity to engage our delegates who are voting on Saturday.
The delegates we don't want to vote.
and to wish all of us well. And more importantly, remind all of us voting this Saturday that is about the future of Ghana entirely. And more importantly, how the party works its way back into Jubilee House. And we're hoping that it's going to be done peacefully. And after the loss or win, we all make effort to come together as one party and to put behind us all the internal wranglings. This is my hope. And in concluding with that, I support Dr. Brian Champon, largely because I think he can bring some peace and discipline within the party.
I was going to ask why you were smiling.
and
now you know.
Now I know.
We're in opposition, and resources matter in opposition. And for that matter, I think that he stands tall to help. Now, with regards to selection of a presidential candidate within any party, I think there's no perfect way. There can be one that literally is so perfect. I am even of the opinion that should God even stand, we'll have some people in opposition to him. I mean, that's the nature of life.
Yeah.
So there's never really a perfect system. But in all of this, as times have gone past, and the numbers of those who matter in terms of deciding for the party has grown, I mean, exponentially. In this election, we're looking about 211,000 people going to cast their vote. And I think that is quite worrying. Either way, it's either we have too many people or we have too few people choosing our leader. But I think that I stand for rather the people who make that decision, not necessarily even the quantum. Okay, as it's well known, my vote is the same as any other person's vote, and looking at the things that I would give consideration to vote certainly is different from what others would, and I think that maybe that there are two schools of thought. Either we quadruple check the caliber of people that will be selected our leaders, or the quantity of people. The quantity has been tried by, I think, even the NDC before, where all floor members were allowed, and it has its positives and its negatives to the extent that if you're not careful, you may have even more people from the opposition party coming in for your party cards, and they can offset your results.
True.
They would vote for the worst case candidates to help their party. So these are some of the pros and cons that needs to be looked at. But invariably, I think that the more the better, so that you'd have a wide variety of people taking that decision, as we'll be doing on Saturday.
Yeah, because you expanded your electoral college last year.
Yes.
In 2025.
Yes. And I mean, I wasn't necessarily in support.
Why not?
Because of the weight and the challenge it brings to the party. Let me be very clear here. Should the party call for conference, the cost of venue, of taking care of these people is far in excess of the party's budget.
Indeed. But then there are those who argue that it reduces the monetization of the system. If you have a large voter base or electoral college, then not everyone can monetize or influence them with money.
We increased our base, and in fact, let me be clear here. Every one of the 3 leading aspirants have already spent more than the last elections. I mean, you know, they started off on what they were given on the final day. I mean, just to be a bit, you know, circumspect here. So this election, before the whistle, people have outspent the last primaries.
Yeah.
And it is worrying, but it also tells you that before you make a declaration that you want to stand for president, you must be well equipped.
Check your back account.
Well equipped to stand. And you know, just to throw out some numbers, if we have well over 200,000 delegates,
Indeed.
supposing you are supporting them with TNT of 100 Ghana, I mean, that is in the millions. 100 Ghana.
Yeah.
And that is in the millions. So it is quite troubling. And either way, there's also the other option where in some of the British system, those who will qualify, first of all, have to be thoroughly checked. Okay, so you become more stringent on your vetting process, so that you won't have some caliber of people even in being considered. I think that is also another way to go, where in the likes of Singapore, before you qualify, your education, your business acumen, your intellectual capacity is quadruple checked. Your ability, emotional intelligence is quadruple checked. So when they bring 4 people to contest, they've been carefully looked at, and as it is, they are the creme de la creme, so that should the voters even err, they err with some good margin of you know, quality product. But when we leave it as we have right now, for instance, in the parliamentary system, where, forgive me to say, some of the people who made it, I think, shouldn't be allowed anywhere near legislative work.
On your side or which side?
And both sides.
On either side?
Both sides. And I talk largely because, I mean, forgive me, if you cannot necessarily grasp or read and write, then what is your business in a place where we're doing policy?
The money is firing shots. So.
No, I mean, let's you know, I think the Singaporean system is quite brutal. When you go through the rigor of, you know, what it takes to be in parliament, by the time you go through that, you are refined, or you realize that you are not cut for it.
Exactly.
You don't have parliamentarians who necessarily cannot contribute anything at even the committee level. You know, when they talk, it's more like they are trying to find out, you know, the AF, you know, is quite troubling.
Rules.
Well, I think that even in the other roles, we need some level
of quality.
Because it all comes down to the quality of the legislative work or the bills that we get.
True.
And also their understanding of governance to the extent that they can challenge authority. If you are empty, can you challenge authority? On what grounds? You are clueless. You just go and sit there and say, no. That, I mean,
you feel some of the people in the house now.
Not that I feel, it is a situation.
They don't cut it.
Well, you can see when they stand up and talk. You can clearly realize that they are very empty. You know, when they talk, and sometimes they talk brazenly, out of ignorance. Forgive me, but that is the reality we have now. So I think that invariably, one, I'm rather more interested in how we vet and allow people to even stand. You know, there should be some minimum requirements. You know, and then even more importantly, in other jurisdictions, you go through drug testing and things like that. Okay, to check, you know, if you are an addict and all kinds of things, which I think, I mean, ordinary jobs do it. How about a state job? Very important. If not, we end up with addicts in parliament or an addict as a president, and you can imagine, you know, what that is. So I think they have a point to some extent, but there are pros and cons, and you know, this will be much to do about nothing. Most of the time, the party stands supreme. There's a decision, but I can appreciate the legal aspect of it. You know, they are making a case which will be given consideration.
Right.
But really, one, the timing is maybe just because we have primaries on Saturday. But really, I think I'm more interested in how we vet those who stand. You know,
more than those who vote.
More than necessarily those who vote. So that the vetting process should produce very capable people.
Very well.
Yeah.
Larry, the argument is that we all belong to a party, but not all of us can hold executive positions. Not all of us can be office holders. Not all of us can belong to that selected few who are delegates. And so, if just this restricted electoral college system is the one that is going to vote, it disenfranchises the rest of us who all belong to the party. So the call is for all members of the party in good standing to be allowed to select a candidate. Does it have any impact on whether or not a selected or restricted group elects and the rest of us are not in support of whoever is elected?
Okay. Good morning to you, and then good morning to our viewers.
Good morning.
I think that we should situate that argument from where we came from. You get it? We had come from a point where the political parties were choosing who should represent them as parliamentarians or parliamentary candidates in in the various constituencies.
Like the MPP has done in Ayawasu East.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
So
you've picked on Baba Ali to contest.
So that is where we came from. Then the parties, people started rebelling that we couldn't do that anymore, and that allow us to decide who represents us. So then the voting system was created. Now, at the time also, I think that it got to a point where still people were picking who decides who should
who decides who the candidate is,
who decides who the and then the numbers, also became fewer. So various contestants started driving their way through. So it became ability to pay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that also became an issue to a point where they said, listen, we should now go on who we should elect the delegates, expand the process. So people created the unit system, they created the polling,
station executives
and so on and so forth.
Ward
and all that.
Yeah.
Okay. Still, there was bribery. Okay. Then it got to a point where I said, listen, everybody should allow everybody to vote. And I'm saying this, to the various, with respect to the various political parties. The bribery wasn't taken out. It was still there.
Yeah.
What came up was that, okay, then everybody, when you expand it too wide, the money people were paying, there were a lot of people to pay.
Yeah. So then candidates couldn't afford.
Yeah, then some candidates couldn't afford. Then it came to a point where they had to divide that. Okay, if there are about, let's say, 150, all you need to do is to ensure that you have about 200 or a little over 150. Okay, on your side, and then you can influence them. So days to the election, they go and camp them somewhere. Okay. And then give them all manner of goodies. Then they, some of them have been made to swear. We've heard those stories before.
We've seen events where the voters are sitting somewhere and refusing to go and vote because a particular candidate hasn't come yet.
So we have experimented with this whole thing, until till now. And the delegate system, whether expanded or narrowed, it's something we have subscribed to. It's an electoral college we had created, true of us. And now the people down there, they decided that okay, listen, Tufo is standing. I think Tufo is good to represent me, to make a good decision when he gets to that time where we had to elect who the presidential candidate should be, or who the parliamentarian should be. So we voted for Tufo, we voted for Dixon, we voted for a certain like Idogbe to go there and then make good choices for us. Okay, then so that is where we had come from. Now, if today we think that we can, some people think that that shouldn't be the case. It's good they've taken it to court. It's good that the court or the Apex court will make a decision on that, whether or not it's good or it's bad vis-a-vis our constitution and then the political parties act and so on and so forth, whether they are in
because that's what I was coming to. The parties have their own constitution.
Yes, they do.
But then there's the political parties act, and then the 1992 constitution reigns supreme. And so can the court make consequential orders for the parties to amend their constitution?
Oh, they can. I mean, if your laws are not, I think if they are not in tandem with what the constitution says.
I mean, with regards to like gender, maybe, but not your processes, your internal processes.
Okay, I mean, we
the party's neck really is the ultimate when it comes to these things.
So the argument can also be made that, like he said, I mean, moving political parties, some of these things, deploying logistics is not a joke. Deploying personnel is not a joke. You get it? And having the time and all that to do this thing and do it smoothly is not a joke. So you can sit in the comfort of your home and say that, you should have allowed Asimesi or Benting and Aninianum to go into this election. Okay, and vote. But then, as I said, the place to sleep, the cars to move them, to a point where even during national voting, political parties make buses available. You remember Amewu in Hohe, where suddenly he went and had access to the STC buses and then transported every Tom, Dick and Harry who comes from Hohe and living in Accra or other places to go to that constituency and vote. You recall that? So I mean, things go into election. People, you could have people call you, even at at my level. I get people call me and say that, I want to go and vote in my village, so can you support me some way somehow? How about the MPs? You get it. So a lot of things go into that, for which reason they had come out with this system where few people are elected, given proper briefs. You will know that this is the direction of the constituency. This is how the people want to vote, and so expanding this thing to every Tom, Dick, and Harry might not be good for the political parties. You get it, in terms of resources.
True.
Okay. Again, I mean, this argument that we've elected parliamentarians, and that because we trusted in their judgment, like he said, it's a system where I think universal adult suffrage. So people, anybody at all can stand for elections so long as you have whatever it takes, and then to be voted for. Now, after you go to Parliament, imagine debates are carried out and so on, and then after the debates, you say that Parliament says, "Oh, listen, let's throw the policy back to the people for them to vote on." No, this is the People's Assembly.
Yeah.
We trusted in their judgment. It could be whack. Okay, it could be whack. Their judgment could be whack because they are not analyzing numbers. They are not considering, experiences. They are not even. They have no idea, or as to what exactly this whole thing is about. And so then they had gone there, debated the issue, and then made a decision that is not in our benefit. E-levy, for instance, and many other policies that we had seen it. What it means is, it comes back to the people, and then the people complain, and eventually a certain political party will see through that and say that, listen, we are withdrawing this particular policy.
Or we'll see political currency in it.
Yes, exactly. So broadening it might not be the solution to our problem. Is that? Are these the critical things that are pressing? What would it take if they don't vote? Even in the US, I think they have the electoral college system, and many other places they do. Okay, so we can test the law. The apex court is allowed to make, determination. They could even throw it out.
That's the plaintiffs in this matter strike a chord, especially considering recent happenings.
Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo I know very well. Okay. Okay, that's it. So Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo I know very well, and he's a man who is deeply concerned about this country. Deeply. You need to read his book. Deeply concerned about this country. He's been around since, for God knows how long. True. Yeah, so, and MPP, founding member, all that. And so, he's been part of the politics of this country. Football, many other things. So, I think that he means well by what he's done. Professor Frimpong Boateng, also same. Dr. Christian Mwakunyoma has been health minister under Jerry Rawlings. Yes. Prof has also been minister under President Akufo-Addo. So I think these are they are not people you can discredit. Listen, I used to, a friend of mine who is a lawyer used to tell me that this country people are connected at various levels. Okay, either I went to the same school, or we support the same football team, or we are married from the same family, and even you, the Ashantis, even make it so nice where you are from the same stock, mother, father, same, but you have different names and so on. Okay, but that you're able to hide your identity through all that. But the point is this: that people are connected. Friendships run deep or deeper than we think. So. You might call it political consensus, but as I said, these are nationalists, and I think they mean well.
Very well. Doc, the issue of the arguments being based on Article 55(5) and if you like, the request for the courts to make a consequential order for the amendment of the party's constitutions and the possibility of same. So that's why they hinge the argument on 55(5) and basically says the internal organization of a political party shall conform to democratic principles and its actions and purposes shall not contravene or be inconsistent with this constitution or any other law. So if indeed this delegate-based system is found to contravene the constitution, then indeed this consequential order can be made.
The very interesting argument is almost like telling us that in the general election, those who qualify to vote and do not vote are doing an illegal activity. I could stretch this argument, because not all of us who necessarily qualify to vote even have a voter's ID. It is as it stands. Should Ghana's arrangement be such that anybody who's 18 years is, a voter, does not necessarily need to register to vote. then it's a different thing. But this is a case where even in the general election of this country, you're having a voter's ID does not mean that by law you're supposed to get up from your house and then go to the voting booth. It doesn't work that way. It's an entire.
You could be in prison even on the day.
Exactly. So as it stands, I think that the logic of it that all people in good standing necessarily have to vote. We can all be in good standing. Some may join the MPP not necessarily because they want to cast their vote in a selection process, but they want to affiliate with the party.
Right.
There are many NDC folks who necessarily do not give a hoot to who their MP becomes. I mean, there are SDA, NDC, SDA, MPP, who, if you are doing an election on Saturday, may say that for religious reasons they won't be able to partake.
Right.
You can't necessarily get 100%, and I think that invariably a critical mass that takes the decision sounds okay for me, except for the fact that my biggest thing is that the rigor needed for people to qualify to be voted for is where I think that we should improve on, so that not every Dick, Tom and Harry or Harry, Dick, Tom will necessarily have the effrontery to go and stand.
As a senior thing.
So I'm rather for a rigorous selection process, which would not yield the fruits of some kind of chairman we have, in our party, and some characters that we have in our party. So that is what I'm really for.
That some chairman we have in our party.
I have to qualify it, big men in the party who I think that if we had a very reasonably rigorous process, because we owe it to Ghanaians to ensure that the average person taking decision for us has some values, has some serious appreciation of things that matter. Let me cite this Ramsey site thing. You'll be very disappointed to know that the quote-unquote army generals and very high-level people in our society who own land in some of these sites, and it begs the question: if they had any inclination to appreciating wildlife or conserving a place for birds and things of that sort, they won't be one of the people taking those lands. And in fact, I've been in meetings where when I saw the caliber of people owning some of those things, I wept, in the sense that in all fairness and in all honesty, they should have been the ones protecting the place, not acquiring those properties.
Right.
And there's been some who have even made loud arguments in public about how their lands have been taken away from them, and I find it very disgraceful that men or women of their caliber should even be considering owning these properties, because it contravenes the kind of mindset you need to be in that position. And if we're in another country, their titles will be stripped off from them because they shouldn't.
Because the person to
on the same boat.
Yeah, the person to
but you get my whole
you
thing.
remember when the Kufo during the Kufo era, the Ablakwa and then somebody went to court.
the late.
Well, let's.
Oh no!
Let's announce him.
Yeah.
Honorable Abdul Fattah Issahaku is here.
They went to court,
Yendi.
and the Supreme Court judges who were sitting on the cases had most of them been given lands, the very lands that they're supposed to decide on. The corruption we had witnessed in this country. Even the chief justice at the time. Yes, the chief justice at the time, Georgina Wood, had also been given part of the state land. So the system had a way of corrupting you. We can mention names.
Well, Honorable Abdul Fattah, welcome.
My point.
Yes, thank you.
Welcome,
thank you.
and let's speak your thoughts on this matter of a suit challenging the delegate-based system of political parties. The suit is actually tracing, the internal arrangements of political parties, and they cite the NDC. In 2015, you experimented with this universal suffrage model. So you reverted back to the restricted.
Yes, I think the issue was more to do with
the MPP people started hitting their just we elected candidates for them.
No, but you see, whichever way you go, it looks the most important is what are you trying to cure. There's the constitutional bit of it. There's the other arrangement. For instance, there are people who say that when you widen it or you open it like that, at least the influence of money is reduced drastically, because it becomes difficult for somebody to have his way through just by virtue of the fact that you have huge numbers. The person cannot pay his way through like you if you have it when there's. But even if you look at the structure we have today, I don't think it's entirely disenfranchising some members, because first of all we have branch level executives who are also elected, and who do the election. The people who do the election are those who are recognized within the branch as party people. And then they say that once you elect them, then these branch level executives now have the power to elect constituency executives. You understand? So at the time you are electing your branch executive, it's like you are delegating your power to elect the constituency executive to the branch executive, you by choice. You understand? So that is why when you are electing your branch, you must elect somebody who you trust, that he will think like you. You understand? In choosing a constituency executive. And when eventually the branch executives choose the constituency executives, they are also giving them power. They are now ceding their power, their authority to elect regional national executives, and even to the point of the flag bearer, to the constituency executives. So at the time you are starting with the process, you all have this at the back of your mind. And so it's like you are sending somebody to go and do something on your behalf. For instance, today we have the a national global organization called the UN, and they say every country is a member. Is that right? Do we all get up as Ghanaians and say that at a general assembly we must all be part of it? We have elected our leaders, and we trust that they will go there and represent our thoughts and speak on issues that concern all of us. And so to the extent that it is the branch, the members at the branch who will elect the branch level executives, and they will elect the constituency executives, and they now go to do all these elections to be, I think it is very representative. Because you see, when you go to the court are not only looking at your rights, they are looking at the feasibility. For the latest case on the issues of voter right is the case of Adamte versus the Republic. The judgment was given on the 11th of November 2024. You know what Adamte and Co were in court seeking? They were trying to say that, if you look at Article 42 of the Constitution, it says that every Ghanaian, every sound Ghanaian who is above 18 years, you understand, should be allowed to vote or has the right to vote. And so all arrangements should be made, should be put in place for the person to vote. Now, Adamte and Co went to court, and they are saying that they do not understand why by July, August, the Electoral Commission closes the door on people who qualify to register, because they say that even up to 5th of December, according to the agreement, people turn 18. And so they must be allowed to vote. And so the argument is that as long as the Constitution is saying 18 years, once I'm 18 years before the day of voting, arrangement must be put in place for me to vote. If you look at it, constitutionally they are justified. But is it feasible?
Meaning you have to be manning down.
You understand? So
they do registration.
Yes, the Supreme Court went into this and he came to the conclusion that no, you see, anytime we do registration of voters, we have what we call exhibition. we have what we call clean-up exercises. You come there and you have duplications, and people come and challenge. There are challenges to registration. Don't you have challenges?
Yeah.
So assuming you do, you say somebody who turned 18 on the 6th of December, and the register is the Friday. How do you even compile a register? In fact, there's even the process of compiling a register, which is part of our electoral calendar. What time are you given to the EC to compile his register?
Submit same to the parties.
Exhibit the register. People challenge it, and hearings are conducted. In fact, in the last registration exercise we had in our constituency, I sat through some of the challenges. A lot of people were challenged as to the veracity of the information they provided regarding their qualification to vote, their age and other things. All these things, they need time. And so it will be totally impossible for you to expect the EC, even though the law says this, for you to expect the EC to live by the demands of the plaintiffs. And so the court came to the conclusion that no, they cannot put that burden on the EC. It is just, otherwise it will run our electoral system into chaos. You understand? And so when you come to this, this position is actually partially, I would say fully, it's partially in the Constitutional Review Report.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So the Prempe report is saying that per Article 55 of the Constitution, they are saying that we should all political parties, and I will be happy. But that position is what I also subscribe to. They are saying that all political parties must open their internal electoral processes to all registered members. But they have a caveat there. Okay. Even that, they are also being mindful. They are saying that but the power should be left to the political parties to determine what period, what the cutting naked card-bearing member.
So I can register yesterday.
So people will rush. So MPP, foreign MPP people going rushing to acquire cards just to influence the selection of the candidate because they wanted to have weaker candidates instead of constituencies. But you see, you can give that power. So Pempe's committee is saying that allow the political parties, allow them to use card-bearing members. It should be wide open, but they can set the timeline, the cutoff point. So they can say that you should have been a card-bearing member for the past 5 years. For the past 4, that one is left to the internal structures of the party. That way, you are still giving some power to the party to control it. You understand? And so I don't see, they are not totally off. But at this point, they are far late in coming. Their rate is far late in coming. And I do not see how the court would ever give them a hearing. You understand? Because as long as the respondents will go to court and bring out these things as status by saying that the branch executive will elect, constituency executive they will elect, they are all by will, you are giving powers to the people to represent you. And so as long as that is the process, they started from there, then there's no way you can tell me that Article 55 was so fully complied with. And so I do not agree with that. I am rather pushing for us to amend our constitution when we come to the broader constitutional amendment that we are currently embarking upon. When we come to that, I subscribe to the position that we should open the election even of parliamentary candidates and all those to card-bearing members. But political parties should be given the power to determine the cutoff point for which card-bearing member can take part. That way we are broadening the process. And the influence of money is crazy. Now it's so much about what you have done for the people. But sometimes the fate is determined on the last day. That is why people will now hold. Look, wait, the night before or 2 days before the election, you see this. You will see this. A lot of changes would have come along that period.
I'm curious what he's saying.
You have no idea. You are even a senior in this game. You are a senior to be in this game. You would see what would happen in the last days. You understand? And these are things we have to. But if the person sees that, Charlie, I have over 800,000 people on this last day, 1 million people, 2 million people. You don't even dare think of what you're going to give to them because you will succeed. You understand? But last time, after your primary, in 2023, I was in Ashama, I was my practice. I was practicing in Ashama, more Ashama in Atema. Do you know that the police there were cases in court but they were almost in court. But as a lawyer, I was privy to some of it. that people were hoarding some of the monies that had been given by the presidential candidates to distribute.
And the TVs.
And a lot of the things. So they took this matter, some of this matters to court. Actually, court. We did some of this. You understand? And so the influence of money, as for me, whatever we can do to address this issue of money influence in our democracy, in our
democracy,
we can do it, but we should also be careful not to do it in a way that also undermines the very system that we are trying to protect.
Give us some legal education. This consequential order that they are seeking to direct the parties to amend their constitution, is it tenable?
Yeah, very tenable. That one is for the Supreme Court. What power don't they have?
I mean, there's some decisions that a party cannot take. For instance, disenfranchising women.
Okay.
I mean, there's some very cardinal things.
Let me even bring him home. Now, when we lost power in 2000, there was this matter in court. I think we call it the NDC and the Republic. There was this challenge as to whether, as an internal party, as a party, we had the power to use our resources, our money the way we liked, or there was a need to account like a public organization.
Okay.
The Supreme Court came in, even though it's an internal party matter. The Supreme Court intervened and said that political parties are representing the public, and so you are supposed to carry your affairs as though you are a public organization. You understand? And so resources given to you can be accounted for.
Must be accounted.
Or must be accounted for. You understand? And so it's something political parties are aware of. That is why the EC can today ask you, political parties, to come and account for how you raise your resources in the last election. You understand? And so for those orders here, they are within the power. So just that I don't see how the court will come in, or why even the court will even intervene in this regard, but they have the powers too. You understand? But they need to be convinced that this is the best way out before they can even go in to making such consequential orders. But I don't foresee that coming.
Very well. Let me take. Okay, sure.
Can I make this point? I think that for me, this even shouldn't be what we should be looking at. Okay, we should be our democracy. People are raising issues with the democracy that we are practicing. That is it delivering, or we only queue to vote, and then at the end of the day, a party or a party is voted, another party succeeds, and then then the other one continues. And then but then the people get poorer and poorer. And so this, in recent times, you are hearing argument that, listen, it should not be democracy by the people, for the people, but then it should be by capable hands. Okay, that competence, you are adding value, you are running the country effectively. That brings benefits to the people. Rather than just we are going to queue, then everybody goes to queue, and then the person doesn't deliver, or despite all the promises and so on that he gave, and then we go back and then waiting for 4 years to teach you a lesson. You get it? I think that we should do something to enhance our democracy. I mean, that something that delivers value, rather than the normal. Let me vote. Yeah, the people will vote, and so what? Father, you don't see my point. The people will vote, and so what? Where are we going? It's becoming business as usual.
Right.
And everyone getting hungrier, angrier. I mean, there are no jobs. We are dealing with galamsey. There is a comment about what you call it, 24-hour economy. Okay, when is it coming? Today or tomorrow? That argument is there. The cost of food, transport.
We are having a crisis.
We are having a crisis. All manner of things. So, are the things really working? Who do we send? Who do we send? And then who delivers for us? Those are the things that we need to be looking at more and more.
Very well. Gentlemen, let's take a break here. When we come back, we'll continue with the conversations. This is Breakfast Daily. We're having the news review segment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
to Stanbic. Smooth, as always.
Imagine making or collecting all payments without leaving your chair. Sounds like magic, right? Nah, it's Stanbic Pay.
Darling, can you please help with the bills, especially at your school fees?
From school fees to utilities, the government and statutory payments, to investments, insurance payments, Hajj payments, and more.
Mommy, my fees has been paid.
Just log on to Stanbic Pay and you're set for life.
Please tell me everything has been paid.
No Stanbic account, no queues, no stress, no last-minute panic. Cherish your time and live happier in safety and convenience. Visit stanbicbank.com.gh or call to get started.
Life is a celebration of moments. Big and small.
Sun is scorching, I'm feeling the heat.
With Piva Drink, every moment becomes a refreshing celebration. From the beach to your home, in every corner of your world, Piva Drink at a burst of refreshment.
Give me Piva Plato and Tandy.
Celebrate every moment with Piva Drink. Refreshment for every occasion. Piva Drink, a taste you will love.
Piva.
This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome to The Point of View. This is your favorite current affairs show here on Channel 1 Television. On The Point of View, we pick the right topics, get the right guests, and ask them relevant questions on issues that matter to you.
With the complexities of the issues happening around us on a daily basis, it's the hard-hitting conversations and the probing questions of The Point of View.
So what is the Public Account Committee's job?
So what we do is to scrutinize, clarify, and find out why certain infractions have been made.
What do these IMF programs try to do?
The current program is for budget support.
Okay.
There are no projects attached.
That teases apart the twisted entanglements of politics and governance, as well as religious and social discourse. The Point of View brings you the policymakers and duty bearers and drills down to the very bottom of issue.
What authority do you have?
The Point of View airs every Monday and Wednesday at 9 p.m. only on Channel 1 TV.
Welcome back. This is Breakfast Daily here on Channel 1 Television. We're having the news review segment. Send us your thoughts, your comments, and contributions. We'll do our best to read them. Yesterday, the minority in Parliament, the mighty minority led by its leader, Osahene Alexander Afenyo-Markin, held a press conference. They said that it's if you like, their own assessment of the 1 year of John Dramani Mahama. A number of things were said, from the economy to the judiciary to Parliament itself. We're going to look at it in bits. So we'll start off with the economy. And the minority says it's the IMF and the debt relief that is driving the gains, and not any magic or any work being done by the government. It says it's by no dint of government's competence that we're seeing the economic turnaround that we're seeing. Let me deal with Larry first on this, and then I'll go to the politicians. No, we are not. No, that's why I want to take your independent position on what the minority is saying. When you look at how things are going, is it the IMF that's the previous administration sent us to, and of course the debt relief that they worked, that is bringing the gains, or do you see that indeed Ato is forcing?
Thank you. I tried accessing a copy of the speech, but I couldn't.
Yeah.
Oh, you had it? Okay, sorry. But then I watched.
But why do you have a copy of the minority speech?
You see the more reason why I
have to be good.
You are punching holes in it.
We read it since yesterday.
But I watched, some videos on it, and I thought that it looks to me that first of all, it was hurriedly organized.
Really? They advertised since last week.
Oh, since last week. Oh, okay.
I also knew that. They advertised since last
week. Yeah, they advertised since last week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was all over Afenyo Markin's page on Facebook.
Oh, okay, okay. I didn't know. Okay. So then I'm saying this because I wanted to see the team. Okay.
There was no team. It was Everton.
I wanted to see the team, and I mean, again, why this time? Okay.
I like that.
Yeah, the timing of it as well.
But why not? This has been 1 year of the new administration.
You see, I'm
they are
saying
the
that
minority in parliament.
I'm saying that based on the fact that MPP is good. Yeah,
you want a theme, so. The flyer that they sent out is titled New Patriotic Party Minority Caucus, Parliament. Presents holding government to account. A year of active and responsible minority scrutiny in Ghana's 9th Parliament.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All encompassing.
Yeah, all encompassing.
So, fully loaded. Okay. So, but what I heard was about, before I come to that, it's good that we have a very strong minority that is policing the government.
Yeah,
it's better so that the numbers that the NDC has in parliament, they could do anything. And so an effective minority, constructive minority, dutiful minority is good for the democracy. It's good for you and I.
True.
So that government wouldn't end up abusing our rights, sort of, or doing policies that will not be helping anybody. So that is good enough. But I see, I saw through something which for me looks as though the minority is talking because it had to talk. Because it had to talk. So that is how come, during the delivery, I noticed that I couldn't see the theme of the thing. It was just,
Even Canada featured.
Yeah.
Makani speech at the World Economic Forum in Davos also featured. Everything was there.
So 1 year of scrutiny. 1 year of scrutiny. So all encompassing.
But I took notice of the fact that they claim that government is not paying contractors. But that has always been countered by Atuforsen, saying that they are paying contractors.
Even they said, okay, when
the electricity, the power,
10 billion within 1 year, 10 billion Ghana cedis. It's never happened.
The power, sector. They issued a statement recently that they had paid. Maripoma, who couldn't go on the Pokwasi, he's back.
Now done.
Motorway. He's on the motorway.
If he doesn't have money,
how can he go? So payment is happening. They talked about no job for the citizenry. Unemployment has always been with us. It just depends on the what you call it, the percentage. But where is this data coming from? Let's know the data or the source of the data, and then we can then argue properly. Either than that, not creating jobs. You recall Ablakwa. Some time ago talked about how NDC government has created a certain number of jobs. And then they poo-pooed it because they demanded for data and Ablakwa couldn't provide. You recall that? Sure. Now the IMF supporting the economy. As yes, that is where we went. The previous government took the country there. This government came and said that, listen, they were going for renegotiation. And then it's out of the renegotiation that we are where we are. Whether support is coming or there are no payment of, external debts and so on. It's something we've subscribed to. Is it of benefit to the country? Are we having, are things a bit relaxed? I think they are. Okay? I think they are. I mean, you are taking... imagine Atufo Singh or President Mahama says that, listen, hey, we want to get out of this thing as quickly as possible.
Right.
Or we are getting out of it the next day. Do you know what this economy would have run into? Okay? We would have run into, serious trouble. Well, nobody will be paid. You recall, before President Akufo-Addo left office, there were claims, there were fears that it will get to a point where salaries of people couldn't be paid.
Yeah.
Adilai?
The power situation was bad.
Yeah.
Dumso was looking at us.
You get it. So you inherit good, both the good and then the bad, and then the ugly as well. In addition, so if you took the party, the government before took the country to the IMF, and then this thing is coming. The system has been cushioned a bit. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
They're asking for some small credits. Give them small credits.
They talk about inflation, and that inflation, as the 2024 was around, was in the double digits, but presently it's in the single digit, 4.5. They are talking, and like you said, listen, creditors also with something. Well, that's a political debate they will have to subject themselves to. Debt to GDP ratio and all those things. Once government is not paying debt, but then we are getting money to cushion whatever it is that to run the economy. For me, I see nothing. But there was something that, and then they talked about the windfall that is coming out of gold. Listen, is this an issue? Okay, there were times when cocoa brought in so much money.
Yeah.
Okay, when the Akufo government took over, they said, they had reaped, a certain volume of cocoa. They were not crediting the Rawlings government for putting in place certain measures that brought in the cocoa, the huge sacks of cocoa or the huge tons of cocoa. Yeah. But then said, it was Kufo who did. Politicians always want to take credit, for things that they didn't even do. President Akufo-Addo was almost crediting himself for building UGMC. You recall that?
Yeah.
Then they went and then the plug that was there, they removed it and then fixed another one. But Osasibe recently talked about how the CD, as it is now, is becoming a threat onto itself. The performance of the CD, I think, is becoming a threat onto itself. Petrol price has been reduced. People can even afford. A while ago, we were discussing how traffic, has taken over all the place. Maybe because people can now afford, petrol, and then everybody is moving his or her car and so on. There's something going on. We should credit ourselves. One way or the other.
We should share the credit.
Because
the process began from somewhere.
Yeah, no problem. If that is what's going to.
Very well. Let's now hear from the politicians. Honorable Fatal, you are in the house, so I've read a statement from your side which basically says that the minority should get out. They're a failed group. It was signed by your leader.
You see, we have been on recess for almost a month now, or over a month now.
Are you going to say they are bored?
Why are you taking the win out of myself? The minority leader, a man I revere so much, has not had the opportunity to speak for a long time. I think the last time I heard from him was at the Peace Pact signing event at the, I think, Alisa Hotel, when the presidential aspirants met, MPP aspirants met. And he has not been, he's one person who loves to talk. So no wonder people like Larry Oko are struggling to find a team for that celebration, because even the team you read, You read the whole thing, you don't know what he was talking about. He went everywhere. Everywhere.
Yes.
He touched on everything. But me, what thing he touched that I love so much is the issue of the speech given by McCartney, which I've just spoken about. The Canadian Prime Minister, which in Davos, which kind of resonates well with a lot of people, especially with the kind of posture that Trump and his America are taking against other, if you like I said, they are allies. So I saw this as an attempt to still be relevant. MPP wants to be heard. And you see, it's not everything that you must talk about. It's not, sometimes you have a better reputation keeping quiet than trying to talk about, because there was something I saw on social media that the more MPP are trying to discredit this current government, the more they are annoying Ghanaians. And so sometimes if there's nothing to annoy, don't try it. Now you are talking about the fact that it was the debt structure and the IMF, or is the debt structure and the IMF that has brought us to where we are today. Now, if you speak to MPPs today, even Okojo Ponko, even as recently as the gold board issue, he spoke about the fact that
the issue of the losses.
Yes, when he was making his analysis, he spoke about the fact that if you look at it historically, all governments in their first year do well. You understand? And even the second year they do well. It is when they are getting to the end of their term that, and so they all do well. He's not saying that something is making them do well. He said they all do well. It means that there's something they are getting right. Now, look at the MPP. And he was making reference to 2017, how they were doing very well in 2017, 2018. Now, do you know that when MPP came to power in January 2017, they inherited an IMF program from the NDC. Today, they are taking to us, they are telling us how they did so well in 2017. They are not making reference to the fact that it was the IMF program. You understand? That is not the case. You see, IMF or debt structure does not cure scandals. What Ghanaians can tell today, it is not because we are in IMF. We were in IMF, they inherited IMF, and within 11 days of the administration, we had the first scandal. 11 days. The bust scandal.
The contaminated
fuel. On the incident happened on the 18th of January 2017. Nanado and his government, Nanado was sworn in on the 7th of January, 18th of January, 11 days after. We had people at boss. You can't even justify it. They took petrol and diesel deliberately, because you can't tell me this was by accident. Now that they were telling us it was they took petrol and diesel 5 million liters. We're not talking about 1 liter or 10 liters or 100. 5 million liters, they mix them together. And they call it contaminated. That is now contaminated.
It was a mistake.
And now that because it has been contaminated, it can't be allowed to come to the market. So they have to sell it. This was 11 days into power, 5 million liters. Now they took that, worst of it all. When you came, you met players, that's OMCs, oil marketing companies in the industry. They took this and they sold it to Zoop Oil and Moving Pina, who were not even licensed to deal in such products. This was at the very early stage. In fact, 11 days in power, less than 2 weeks in power. Today, 12 months. After 12 months of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama administration, Ghanaians cannot even talk about a single scandal. So is it because of IMF that we don't have scandals? Or is it because of debt structure that we don't have scandals? You see, I am happy if it is only MPP that is passing this verdict on the performance of the government. Because look, the entire country is fully satisfied. We have, even recently, was it, which people did the latest survey? Almost every survey that is being done on where the country is headed. IEA did the very recent survey. They are all saying that majority of Ghanaians think the country is governed well. And look, one thing that people don't understand is, you see, when it comes to the performance of government appointees, it is more to do with the leader. Your mama has made every appointee to know that, look, the very moment you bring me a scandal, I am showing you the exit and I will hand you over to the security agencies to prosecute. We cannot say so, or we could not have said so under NPP. Under NPP, you were the president was the first to even clear you before you were even put before any investigative authority. And so today, I always say today, when you find people like Kedo Foriata and co, not willing to present themselves for accountability, it is not because of what they themselves